Hey, everybody. Real quick before we start the interview, first I want to introduce myself if you're a new listener. My name is Rob Kane. I am the creator and producer of the Freight Train podcast. And I want to encourage everybody, if you're listening on iTunes, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you could leave me a rating and a real quick review. It doesn't take very long at all, and it helps other people who are interested in country music find the podcast. Also, if you're not on iTunes, you can follow me on SoundCloud. You can also follow me on iHeartRadio, Google Play. Pretty much everywhere you can find podcasts, you can find the Freight Train podcast. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and here we go with the interview. All right, everybody, we're back with episode 23 of the Freight Train podcast, and I'm sitting here on the phone with my boy Nick Tressler of RaisedRowdy.com. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you today?
I'm doing good, man. Just dealing with my 2-year-old is learning how to potty train. We're in like day 3, so
sounds fun.
Getting away and doing this interview is much needed right now. So, anyway. But let's get into it, dude. So you are one of the masterminds behind RaisedRowdy.com. So
yeah, I don't know about mastermind, but yeah, we, me and my business partner Jacob, basically, I've just been a lifelong like country music fan, and even more so. Like my dad's got me into it when I was young, but even more so in the last probably I'd say 10 years. Just really got into the concert scene and stuff, and this is kind of our attempt to do something formal with it, as opposed to just being just a really big fan in general.
I hear you. So let me tell you what I see from my point of view, and then maybe you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong, or correct me or whatnot. But first of all, I found you on Instagram, and then of course I went to the website. But what I started seeing, other than your amazingly funny memes, are just a group of people that really enjoy going to concerts and just being wild, for lack of a better term, and just having fun going to concerts and enjoying country music. I mean, does that sum it up a little bit?
So that's kind of like our plot line. So I mean, basically, what we are is we're kind of a community of friends, right? So I'm more of the formal side of it, but our crew, before we were called Raised Rowdy, we had just like a crew of friends that we'd go to shows with. We go to festivals. We go to shows throughout the year. We keep in touch with each other, showing each other new country music, stuff like that. Anytime I can get to another town where one of my friends lives, always just talking about country music, trying to see a show, stuff like that. So that's kind of the base of where Raised Rowdy came from. It's just a group of our friends that are just all very passionate about country music and passionate about keeping in touch with each other and being what we are, friends. So
okay.
From there, also, like for me, I've always been the one, or one of the ones, that has been like just finding out about new music. I just have a hunger for new music, or music in general, maybe even stuff that I've heard, but like I'll roll back through it. So I've been told by my friends for a long time, hey, you need to do something formal with this,
Okay.
So we got our group that we were before, like what we called ourselves was the Rowdy Gentlemen of Leisure, and we had made like some T-shirts, and we made some koozies, and it was just like basically for our crew and our festival friends, and we started giving them to some artists like Cadillac 3, some of the guys from John Party, and just kind of grew from there. And then that was kind of more designed towards the males of the group. So wanted to make it something that was a little bit more giving, because that's not really even who our crew was. It was just like that's what we had at the time. So this is kind of our all-inclusive thing in terms of that, and just basically just trying to even grow our friendships to be a bigger community, right? Because in my head, country music at its core is A, about the music, B, about great relationships, and it's almost a family. And that's really what my crew has become to me and to all our other friends, is we've just gotten to be a family, you know?
That's awesome.
And
I totally agree with
the more
you.
people we have.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Country music is a family.
Yeah.
I don't think people can experience that same sense of camaraderie or family in the pop world or jazz, whatever you want to say. I don't think it exists outside of country music. I really don't think it does. But
yeah,
now,
I mean, I think it probably exists some, but it's just not to the extent that we see it in the country music world. And I think a lot of that comes down to the songwriters. I mean, I really think that community is really the heart. It's the core of country music, right? I mean, the artists that get big are, of course, the ones that are, you know, the face that the people see. But if you look at the core country music, it's in Nashville or it's in Texas, and it's coming from the songwriters and the people that just have the passion and the love for the music.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that, Mr. Tressler. I wanna run back to something you said real quick when you were first getting started, when you guys were the Rowdy Gentlemen of Leisure. How, you mentioned Cadillac 3 and John Party. How did you get your merch into the hands of those guys? Were y'all just
honestly
waiting?
Meet and greets. You know what I mean? So
okay.
Like when those guys weren't as large as they were, or just getting lucky with meet and greets, winning stuff through. One of the things that all my friends say, they're like, "You're the luckiest person I know. You win everything. You win tickets. You win meet and greets." But I mean, really, what it is I'm just at a lot of shows. so if you're applying to get a meet and greet and you're going to 2 shows a week, eventually you're going to get some meet and greets.
That's true.
So yeah, we got lucky enough to meet the guys from the Cadillac 3 a couple times. Once at, just like winning through their website, once through the radio station, and then once through like a private event that they had meet and greets with everyone. So
okay.
And then John, same thing. A buddy of mine worked for the local Froggy station out here for a while. So the one time with John, we got tickets through them. So
okay.
Well, meet and greet tickets. So yeah.
Froggy. And now I know Froggy from watching The Office. Those stickers used to be all over that TV show. And
yes,
so
they're so Froggy here in this area and some other areas as well is like kind of one of the radio stations that it's like a chain almost, but they're not as major as maybe like the Bigs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them based out of this area, which I'm based out of Pittsburgh, and then we have a lot of friends in Ohio and West Virginia and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, and for the longest time, I thought you were in Ohio, and then came to find out that you were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in Ohio.
Okay.
So a lot of times when we're going to see shows, we'll go to different honky tonks, stuff like that, places where we're getting shows, and a lot of them end up being in Ohio, and I end up meeting a lot of my friends out there at a festival we go to. So always making trips out to Columbus, always making trips to Cleveland, and we just dropped down in Cincinnati this weekend on our way to Louisville for a show.
Awesome. So now what I want to get to, we talked a little bit about how you were first getting your merch into people's hands, and now if anybody follows your Instagram, which go to Instagram, type in Raised Rowdy, and you'll come across their page. It looks like a microphone. It's a negative space, I think is what you called it, logo, right?
Yeah.
Negative,
so
something like that?
It's a microphone in the shape of an R, so we had designed for us. And, yeah, we've been extremely lucky, specifically this early in being like a real, brand, having our LLC built and having stuff out there for people to get in touch with some of my absolute favorite artists, and just getting to interact with them a little bit and just having positive feedback to what we're doing, the music that we're trying to help promote, the other stuff that we're trying to help promote, and just kind of being silly, because, I mean, that's part of who we are. That's part of who we are as a crew, and part of who we are as people is just, we like to keep things light, but also know that the backbone of what we're doing is about the music, and it's about entertainers that we think aren't necessarily getting the spotlight that they may deserve, or maybe they're just an up-and-coming artist that maybe some people just don't know about yet if they don't have a label, stuff like that.
Okay, 100%. And I I saw a really cool picture the other day. I guess Ashley McBride, who's on tour with Luke Combs, and Luke Combs' band leader and lead guitarist, Rob Williford, excuse me.
Man, that was a great picture, right?
Yes, had on all your gear. That's crazy.
I'll tell you this. So we got a connection through Rob. I actually hit him up. I was like, Rob, just Ray's Rowdy and Rowdy Rob. This just makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm borderline crazy Luke Combs fan, right? So, been a big fan for a long time. Saw him at a show where it was him and Rob acoustic, and there's 30 people at the venue, right? And then a year and a half later, he's freaking selling out our venue in 15 minutes. You know, so just like guys like that just have all the talent in the world and deserve it so much. Like I'm just, of course, into, right? Yeah. So, reached out to him, and I reached out to Ryan Hurd. Those are some of the first guys that had some of our stuff. And then, I mean, I'm a super fan first, right? Like, I'm just a fan of country music in general.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm in a lot of fan clubs for the artists that I'm the most into. And, you know, I'm posting about stuff, or even some of them I'm more reading than posting. But I'm finding out information, meeting other fans from other fan clubs, and kind of going from there. And I've made, with Ashley McBride, I've made friends with a guy, Dave, that is one of her biggest supporters and one of the people that helps run her and the Dead Horses fan club. And it's just, I mean, everything's a big community, right? When someone sees that you're passionate about the same people they're passionate about, it's so easy to have a connection with them. And you just meet so many great people.
Yeah.
So not just the artists themselves, but all the people that are supporting them and all the people that are just big fans of them.
100%.
It's really a cool world.
It is, man. It is. So let's talk about this website a little bit. I got it pulled up here, and I am looking through the honky tonk section of your website.
Yeah. So we're pretty small shop right now, but this year we're going to be bringing some other people on. I've had some talks with some people, just because I mean we're under a year old, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We got a lot of traction with some crazy, amazing artists so far, and other people in the industry. So, but yeah, so like one of my ideas behind it is I want to have a concert calendar, and we do it right now for the greater area that we're basically in, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we do Pittsburgh, we have Ohio, and we have like some West Virginia shows as well. And then also we want to do that as we grow, get that out to other areas. But the honky-tonk section, like you're talking about, is basically I want to have a resource so that when someone's in another part of the world, but probably more so the United States, they know where to go to see live country music. They know where to go to see a show, or maybe, you know, check out cover artist even, something that's in that area. To find people in that area, they're kind of at that same place.
Okay.
And we've been expanding it, and I have, like I said, once I have some more guys and girls helping me out, we're going to be expanding that section even a little more.
Okay.
And that's kind of our thought process behind that.
Right on.
Kind of the concert calendar, but then also have the basically where to go section.
Okay.
So
how did the bartender of the month section come about? These
so
just people you meet?
One of the things that, like, that was my idea. And one of the things I was thinking about with that is, like, a lot of these great honky-tonks, there are people that are live and die customer service, right? And I think that's kind of a little bit of an underappreciated section of the music scene. But, man, I tell you, I appreciate it when I go to a bar and someone's just taking great care of us, and it's fun, and it's outgoing, and it's really doing their job well, you know, and helping you in a place, at a city or a place, enjoy your trip more, right? So I think that was one of the things that it's not always just about the artist. Sometimes it's not even about the music, but it's about all these other people that are just doing hard work and are part of the community, you know, and are just doing what they can to help your experience when you're either down in Nashville or if you're at another honky-tonk in a different location. So just kind of want to shine a light, kind of similar to how you want to shine a light on an artist that might not be getting, all the respect they deserve. This is another kind of way to do that.
That's really cool, dude. And as I'm looking around, kind of like you're saying, it being a place where people can go and reference, maybe a town that they're in and find something. I'm seeing here, I think the website as a whole is a really cool reference point for country music, period, because you can find a playlist if all the people that you're listening to, the concert calendar, like you said, the honky tonks with the bartenders and the venues, and then we have the Rowdy Life section where you have all your articles that you put out with people and the interviews that you're doing with artists and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a really cool concept for a website that has to do with country music.
Yeah, I'm just it's a way in my head to share that world, to share my world and what I think represents country music with people. I mean, one of the things that I always try to find is new music, right? Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of us out there that are that same way. You and I talked previously about how our taste in music run pretty similarly.
They really do.
And a lot of the guys that you guys have had on and interviewed are people that I'm really into, and we've talked about stuff like that before. But yeah, I think one of the things for me is just like there's people that are out there that are just so freaking talented, but it's just there's so much going on, and sometimes it's hard to get a deal, or it's hard to get shows in different areas that they're not necessarily getting the attention they deserve. And I think that's one of the big things at the core of what we're trying to do is trying to shed a spotlight on the right people, right? So the songwriters, the guys that are out there doing rounds every week, they just have amazing voices or just have crazy writing talent, the people that maybe aren't getting the press in the national media. And if I can be just a little bit of help to them, just a little bit of help to them, that's what I'm here for.
I hear you. Like, I really enjoyed your interview with Ryan Nelson, who a lot of people may not know.
Ryan's great. And I mean, he's one of those guys that's at Whiskey Jam, that's at Revival all the time, that's, writing songs out there with guys like Riley Green and, other guys like that. And just that whole scene and all his buddies, they're all great guys, man. And those are the people that I feel like are similar to what my friends are like here, Yeah. And they're just doing it in the industry, which is freaking awesome. And it's been great to be able to get in touch with some of those guys who, again, have great music, are writing fantastic songs, but maybe aren't necessarily getting as much press as some of the other people. So it's been cool, and I hope as we grow, that we'll get the chance to get them even more recognition.
Yeah, man. Well, this is so cool because I like we talked about have a thirst for new music, what's coming, and a lot of people don't share that same, they're content with hearing what's on the radio and so on and so forth. And it's cool to find a website and a person in you that in a community, all the friends and the other people that represent Raised Rowdy that are passionate about it the same way that I am. And
that's the same way I feel. Like, there's a lot of great organizations out there that are shedding that light too, but not enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We need more. The more people that we have searching for great music, trying to put the people that we think are the best at the forefront of people's minds. And it's pretty cool when you get, like, on Instagram. I mean, that's where we're our biggest, like, specifically social media-wise. Instagram has definitely been, what we are focusing on the most. I think that's where the most eyes are at this point in terms of social media.
I think you're right.
It's great when you have someone reach out to you and you say, hey, I haven't been able to find a lot of new music, or I've been listening to the same stuff, and, like, your recommendations and your posts are helping me find new stuff. I love all the stuff you guys promote. That just makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing part of what I want to do, for the community.
100%, man. So the next thing I want to talk about, now that you brought up Instagram, are the memes. because your mean game is strong, my friend.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, we try to keep it light. I think that's I mean, I'm a silly person in general, right? I just like to have a good time. When I'm out there with my friends, we're hanging out. You know, of course, having a few adult beverages, maybe sometimes too many.
Never too many.
I just like to have fun. You know, I just want everybody to have a good time. That's really, I kind of like try to make myself the party ambassador. Okay. And of course, the internet is a great place to have fun. So,
I hear you.
I mean, I come up with ideas. I mean, my head's on country music a lot, right? Like, I have a lot of passions in my life, but that's, at this point, probably my biggest one. And, there's so many funny things out there in the world, and kind of what I'm doing is just the slant of that towards country music or towards our scene of friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's been great, too, because we've had some people reach out to us that had created some memes, kind of drawing from inspiration, some of the stuff we're doing, or, you know, other guys in the industry. Yeah. And it's just been great to have people reach out and just like, hey, we're really enjoying this. Here's my take on that. And I've been posting some of them, so it's been awesome.
Yeah. I love the ones with the throwback 90s country, like the pictures in the album covers. Yeah, dude.
I mean, dude, that's what I was raised on, honestly. My dad worked shift work, so at any moment of the day, you could hear the local country radio station blaring at full blast so that he could try to sleep with 4 boys running around causing havoc in the house, you know? So, I mean, all that 90s country is where, you know, I fell in love with that. And, you know, my dad had some of the older stuff, too. He's a big Conway Twitty guy, big George Jones guy, some other guys, too.
Okay.
But listening to that music, you had no chance of not hearing it in my house. You know, 1 week out of every 3 throughout the whole day at some point.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So another thing. Oh, and by the way, for anybody that didn't get it, the website is raisedrowdy.com. So go check out raisedrowdy.com. Check them out on all the social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for sure. Everywhere else you can probably find them too. So what I want to talk about now, and you know, a big part of what you do is, like we just talked about, finding new music. What I want to know is, who are you looking at right now that maybe you haven't posted about, or that you think is just not even on anybody's radar and is going to be coming up soon?
Oh man, see, that's hard because it's like there's so many tiers of people, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, me and you both have talked about Riley Green. He's one of my absolute favorite artists.
Yeah.
He just got signed, right? So I would say, in my world, he's kind of out of that realm of people aren't going to know him, and he will be soon.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Which,
Yeah.
again, is extremely well deserved. But one of the guys that I've been into recently is starting to get a little traction, and you had on the show, is Trey Landon. You know.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I really dig his music. Like, every song I hear by him, first time I listened to it, I'm like, oh, this is so freaking catchy, man.
Yeah.
And that's why when you had him on the show, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's one of the dudes I love. So I think he's got big stuff. And then I'll tell you what, Cassie Ashton is a girl who I just think has all the talent in the world.
I've been seeing that name.
She just signed a recent record deal, put out her first single. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, all that. But I think she's going to light the world on fire.
Cassie Ashton.
A couple female artists that I love. She's one of them. Ashley McBride's another, and Farron Rachel's is another.
Okay.
Those are girls that I can't stop listening to.
Yeah, Farron Rachel's, she's got it going on, dude.
Oh, man, love her. She's one of my favorites. She was one of the first people to actually take contact with us, and I did an email interview with her. Man, she's just been great.
Okay.
And gave her a T-shirt that she wears around town, and every time I see someone wearing one of our shirts or one of our hats, I just like giggle and smile, and I'm so happy. You know,
it's pretty cool, isn't it?
A little part of that, yeah. just to be a little part of their world, and a little part of this community that I'm just so passionate about and have so much love for.
I hear you, brother. Well, and I want to tell everybody too, when you go to their website, check out their shop section, because you guys have, like you said, shirts. You can have your own Raised Rowdy shirt, hat, a flag, anything you need to go to a tailgate or a show. You got koozies, you got the dad hats, you got the beanies, or you got everything. I really like that Ropes and Bands logo trucker hat.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
sharp,
Oh, that's
man.
my favorite too.
That is sharp.
Yeah, we've been working on getting some more stuff out there, and that's kind of one of the things. Like what we set out to do is kind of make it a community, and it's been pretty awesome. Especially so when Luke Combs was down at his rhyming shows, and there was some of our followers and some of the people that we've made connections with, and had got stuff off of us wearing our gear down there. It's just it's mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
And then a picture from there with Ashley McBride recognizing the brand, and just it's incredible. Been overwhelming. I mean, we've had some of the stuff sell out, some of the stuff, we're just trying to figure out. We got some new designs with some phrases and some things that we talk about that'll be coming out soon that we're working on. We're gonna have some, tank tops and stuff for summer here coming shortly.
Hell yeah.
Just trying to keep people, and what we want, and what we would love to see is when someone sees someone in a Raised Rowdy gear, you know that person's a good person. You know that person's the same level of kind of fan that you are, and kind of build that community from there.
Hear you, man. I just think it's all great. I think it's amazing that there's a website out there like this in a community. Again, if you're looking for a great, funny Instagram follow, find these guys and follow them on Instagram, Raised Rowdy. And Nick, thanks so much for coming on and talking to me today, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, and look forward to working with you guys in the future and listening to more of your podcasts, man.